Well, a very good Sunday morning to everyone. The rain has stopped. The sun is rising over there in the east. And as you can see, the veranda is very tidy and actually quite clean. Yesterday it rained most of the day. So what I did, I worked on chores in the cottage and in the covered areas like the barn, here, the veranda, which is covered, and over in the tunnel, though I didn't get a lot of work done in the tunnel. And massive tidy up and organising and putting things away and relocating things and the usual stuff, you know, when you go through a tidy up. The usual stuff when you have more than enough stuff, which is what I have. I have a lot of stuff. Now most of it is repurposed, second-hand, recycled, but nevertheless it's stuff. So I'm cutting back on that to the point where a brother of mine asked me the other week if I wanted X, Y or Z, things he was getting rid of, and I said, no, thank you. And I think it was one of the first times in my life that I said, no, thank you, I don't want any more stuff. That's what comes from having a forager's brain, which I have. I'm forever foraging and looking at stuff and thinking, oh, I could use that. I could use that in such and such a place. I could use that. I could paint that or fix it and pass it on. But anyway, the only stuff I'm going to be willingly accepting, of course, is plants. Plants, trees, interesting pots, because I've taken to planting things into pots now quite a lot because I've run out of space, as one does when one has spent 14 years planting. Lovely bird song this morning. I think it must be about 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. It's very still. The sky up there is quite bright, which is lovely. I listened to a weather forecast last night before I went to bed, and there was strong inference. I don't think they actually used the word snow, but there was a strong inference that there was going to be snow. Excuse me. So, I've been out harvesting birch. You can see a big pile of birch there. So I think today is the day when I'm going to be working indoors and getting some things done. And also, I want to make a willow wigwam. Now, I'm not going to be... Sorry, excuse me. Let me just explain this to all of you who would like to see me making a willow wigwam. There is a blog up on the website all about how to make a willow wigwam. Now, I don't put all these blogs on the website up there for fun. I put them up so as you can access information. It's not possible for me to show you on a video how to make a willow wigwam because I don't have all the editing techniques in which to cut and splice and join together and all the rest of it. A video that would be within a certain time frame for uploading. Look, I just don't have those skills. So I'm going to be making a willow wigwam because I had this idea that rather than just bring in the branch of a small tree or something to decorate for midwinter, I would make a willow wigwam which is the same pyramidal shape of a Christmas tree, and then decorate that. But I have a few little ideas in my head. which you will be able to see, hopefully, today, the outcome of what I'm doing. Oh, there's something else I wanted to say about this. Occasionally, just very occasionally, someone comments where they're asking me to make a specific video. This isn't that kind of a channel. I'm not making videos according to requests. That's not what I do here. I make these little videos as just a little journal of my life here at Bealtaine Cottage. They're really no more than, like a daily journal. Sometimes a rant, like yesterday, but usually just a daily journal. Now you can see, despite the fact it's coming up towards mid-December, I think tomorrow is the 10th, so we're going towards mid-December, there's still quite a strong vibrancy of life out there in terms of greenery, and there's a lot of stuff which is continuing to grow. This is not unusual around the cottage, because the cottage has stone walls, and the stone walls heat up. I mean, that's why the cottage is warm inside. Even if I don't have a fire set in the stove, the cottage is quite warm because the stones of the cottage, and the walls are very deep. The walls are about 1.5 feet deep. They absorb the heat, and then like a night storage heater, they release the heat slowly over the course of the next 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week. I mean, it actually takes a long time for the cottage walls to heat up, but then a very, very long time for those walls to lose all their heat. So it's like living in a huge night storage contraption, if that's... Have I evoked the right visual image here? Probably not. It's too early in the morning and I'm still on my first cup of coffee. But anyway, as you can see, there's a lot of greenery around here, including the pelargoniums down there, which are continuing to flower, including the parsley and the lavender down here, which is continuing to do great work. And then you can see my Cotton Come Again box of edible greens, and the second box, which is down there on that little chair. So yes, I mean, there's a lot of life still here, and it's unmistakably December because of the way the trees are all so bare now. And the light will tell you what time of the year it is. So I'm just going to do quite a shameless plug now at this point. If you haven't got your calendar, now's the time. And I'm thinking that postage worldwide should still get there before... I don't know about Australia and New Zealand, but I would imagine America, the United States and Canada. I think some of the postings that have gone out there have got there pretty quick. You can leave a comment underneath this video if indeed that's been your experience. But I think recently the postings have got there pretty quick, albeit there has been a problem with postage in Canada because there's been some strikes. But anyway, a shameless plug. If you haven't already got this little book, The Bealtaine Cottage Guide to the Deep Midwinter, I would strongly suggest that you purchase this wee book, because anyone who's received it knows it costs €4.70, which is almost €5 to post. The book itself is only 13, and that includes postage. So you're only looking at somewhere in the region of €7 or €8 for this book. You know? Which is, hey, you can imagine I'm not making much of a profit on this. That's not exactly going to keep me in quality coffee for the next month. But let me just show you the little book, because it is rather a lovely little one, and absolutely filled with colour photographs, poetry, recipes, stories, goes on and on, history, craft, look at this, how to make a willow wreath, it's all in there. Isn't this beautiful? And on and on and on. I'm going to go through the whole book here. Look at that beautiful picture of my beautiful Sammy boy. How to make these lovely biscuits as well, edible gifts. No, I don't know. Is there a little recipe in there or not? No, I think that's just a way of cutting out and decorating them. Look at this, in the bleak midwinter. I love the words of that. There's the recipe for the bread, the no-knead bread. You don't even touch it. Lovely recipe for vegan chocolate brownies, and a recipe for soup. Look at this, and ideas for gifts. I mean, look, it just goes on and on. You know, you get those magazines, you know, you get these lovely sort of magazines in the shops, you know, telling you all about, oh, Christmas and ideas. Well, you buy a magazine and that's it. You read it, and what do you do with it? Well, some of us store them, but invariably they end up just getting put into a corner. Books like this little book, look, you can put on your shelf. You can actually put this up on your bookshelf and it's there. Alternatively, right? Alternatively, there is well, this would be the perfect gift if you wanted a gift for someone. Look at the way the back's done. Everything's beautiful about it. I'm actually very proud of this little book, and it took me a while to put it together, and then of course I paid myself to have it all printed. None of it's coming from Amazon. It is sustainable in that way. It's all been posted here from the west of Ireland. I pack each book myself, and each of these little books comes with the little gift, the little ivy, an ivy leaf from Bealtaine Cottage, and a charm on it, which is wrapped in a little bit of cellophane, so that can be always used as a bookmark if you want, and that comes with the book. So I don't think you can get better value. I think this must represent the best value on the net at the moment. So there we go. That's a big plug now for my Bealtaine Cottage Guide to the Deep Midwinter. Can be yours. Now there'll be a link below this video, of course. There's always a link below each video onto the website and onto the Bealtaine Cottage Press, where you can find the books and the maps and the calendar. And there is actually a special offer for the calendar and the book together. Now, I'm hoping to come back at you today with another video or two. This could possibly be a day of short videos, although this one, which I was going to have as a short video, has turned out to be quite a long one. But I'm sure you've all enjoyed just sitting here with me, listening to the sounds, including a drip here, which I've got to get the ladder out today and see if I can't fix the drip that's coming from the gutter up there. But it's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. And blessings of the day to you. May you have a beautiful day. And by this evening, I'm hoping that the cottage will be decorated. I've got to go out and collect lots and lots of moss, because I want to put moss on the windowsills, on the window ledges. And yeah, so I'm actually looking forward just to doing all these slow tasks, unhurried. I was going to go out to one of the markets this morning, you know, because I haven't been out in ages. I've been sort of a home bird, but I don't feel any compunction to go out. I really don't. I just want to sort of immerse myself in some yuletide doings around Bealtaine. Blessings to you all. And blessings from Jack.